You see Tingley coming out of his crouch, and boom! Got him right on top of the head.
Don't miss the Jeep and Eagle Baseball Report. Friday nights at 6:30 and Saturday mornings at 11. Exclusively on Home Team Sports.
We're back at the Greensboro Coliseum for the National Team Championships, USAIGC. And we'd like to take a look after one rotation how the teams finish up. We have Hill's Angels running in first, much as we expected, 29.15. Cherry Hill, the surprise to get into this round, again performing as you sort of guessed that if they could pull it off, this was a chance to vie for that championship. 28.825. The Rebounders, another great showing. They've been here before, but they're up higher than we thought. 28.15. Our defending champions 2 times in the last 2 years, New England Express, and I'm sure Kip Reed will want to see them come up from that score. Pantheon Gymnastics from Sacramento, California, 27.60 in 5th place. 6th place, a previous champion here at the National Team Championships. The Marvatine program from Gary Anderson's program there that he owns and operates that program, 27.125. Sunrise Gymnastics, a very nice job there, 27 even, and Parkettes with a 26.45. And now we move over to the vault for the final performer for the Pantheon Gymnastics program. This is Tara Law. She's 16 years old, born, raised, and trained in Sacramento, California.
All right, and Tara at the end of the runway on the flash scoreboard has a 2.60 up, which means she'll be doing a handspring front. Oh! She almost got around. She had a little bit of trouble in the beginning, but she held on tight and almost had the landing. I'm sure what her coach is telling her now is what he saw. She noticed how she came onto the horse. Her legs were a little tucked. She'll try to keep those straighter so she can bounce off the horse and go higher into the air so she can get the flip around to her feet.
It seemed to me that she actually started the front somersault while she was still coming onto the horse, and I think that would obviously cause problems.
It would. Now watch how she bends her knees onto the horse, and she just goes right into the tuck. She never gets that repulsion off up into the air. And then, as you can see, she had a real hard time with the landing.
She certainly wasn't going to put her hands down, though.
No. But it doesn't matter. She got the 5/10 deduction. If you sit down or if you put your hands down when you sit, you get the same deduction. Okay, let's see how she puts it together for the second vault.
This is when the pressure really comes into play. You have 2 vaults, but now she has just this one. She doesn't want to count that other vault.
Oh, same problem, unfortunately. Well, it looks like she might have had a little bit of an injury as well. I'm sure they'll go back into the gym and they'll work on that little problem, see if they can improve the technique a bit.
So although they started very nicely on the floor exercise events, when they moved to vaulting, it looks like they've had some problems. So let's take another look at that second vault now, where we saw pretty much the blueprint of the first vault.
Yeah, almost exactly the same. You see, once again, the knees start to bend a little early, and she doesn't get that push off the horse that she could get. If she were to get up a little bit higher right there, she'd have time to pull the tuck around. The other thing difficult, as you can see, when she puts her feet down, she doesn't. It's a blind landing, what they call in gymnastics. So it's a real difficult landing. And here we see it one more time. And as she comes off the horse, watch when she lands. She doesn't get a chance to spot the floor. All of a sudden, here comes the floor, and she's not ready for it.
All right, we'll wait for her score. We're sure it's not going to be very good. There we have it, an 8.75. So that's going to set the Pantheon program back a little bit. Now we move over to the uneven bars, and we have Carrie Monahan from Cherry Hill Gymnastics. Again, she's 15 years old. We saw her on vaulting. She did a very explosive and nice vault for a score of 9.7. And here she comes on the bars.
You see her coach is standing in there because she's going to throw a great skill. Oh, that was beautiful. Free hip to a Tkachev. Don't see that often at all. And then immediately, oh. That was amazing. She was trying to do 2 release moves, which we don't see very often in this competition. You see it a lot in the Olympic competition.
What a shame. The more difficult of those 2 release moves she did so nicely, and then one that we see more of, she had difficulty with.
Yeah. Well, nice routine, though. She covered well. Just 1 deduction on the fall. It's a shame, but I really admire her courage for going for those 2 release moves. I think that says a lot for her. Maybe they just wanted to try those 2 release moves in a big competition and get one under her belt.
This is where they ran into difficulty before, though. They did so well on the vaulting and 4 exercise event. On the uneven bars and balance beam, they seem to have some problems here. Let's take a look at this very unique release move. Not many girls are doing this particular release move right now.
In fact, Nadia was the first one to do it, I believe, in 1980 at the Olympics.
That's exactly right.
This is a free hip circle, and she's going to reverse her direction and then do a Tkachev, or a reverse hex. The reason they called it Tkachev is because the first gymnast to do it was a Russian, and his name was Tkachev.
That's done as well as anyone we've seen do that particular release move.
And right into her next release move, and she almost had it right on the fingertips, and then just lost it.
Be awaiting her score. I think she's packing up, getting ready to go to balance beam, but a little smile on her face. She goes, I can't believe I did that, but no use worrying about it that much.
You got to move on. You really have to try to clear the mind, just move on to the next event, not to let it affect your performance, and it looks like she's already done that. Okay, waiting for the score, and I see they're just about putting it up. Now the girl before her as well, an 8.80.
So that took into account the half-a-point deduction, and I'm sure a few other little deductions I saw along the way. Now we move over to the balance beam, and we pick up with Amy Meyerson. This is one of a pair of twins, a really, really explosive gymnast, one I've enjoyed watching over the years. She's such a nice young lady and does such beautiful gymnastics, and in a real explosive way. She's 17 years old, from Hartford, Connecticut.
By the way, in the preliminary competition, she scored the highest beam score out of the entire competition. I believe it was a 9.6.
I think that surprised her, too. You think of her as a vaulter and a floor exercise performer, and this one she sort of said, if you're going to do gymnastics, you have to do all 4, so I'll do what I can up here. But she's ending up being a very solid performer here.
Real solid. And there's that full turn. That is a requirement on the beam, and she handled it with no problem. Rock solid.
Remember, the New England Express are defending champions. Trying to end.
Beautifully done. Flip-flop, layup, layup. They have to show a tumbling series, and that was her tumbling series, and it was one of the best.
Her coach on this event, Maureen, they call her Mo Chagnon, is pretty famous for putting out solid performers on this event. She's really done a great job in conveying the kind of confidence you have to work this event. I think she's done a great job. So
she does. She has some secret down.
Yeah.
Here she's preparing for her dismount. Round off, backhand spring, double. Beautiful. Nice duck landing. Unbelievable. Now, you'll notice she's the first girl to actually tumble off the beam. That tumbling she did is the kind of stuff you'll see on the floor when they do their first pass. And she handled it with absolutely no problem. Look, that was a great beam. They know it. The team
Her coach, you see, that came up and hugged her there, Kip Reed, has to be one of the most well-liked coaches around him.
Now, here's her tumbling series. Flip-flop layout, and then right into another layout. It's incredible. You know, I don't know how they do it. And here we'll see her again tumble right off the beam. She'll do a round-off flip-flop into her double back. And this is what you see on the floor a lot of times. Take a close look. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how do these kids stay on the beam when they go so fast? I don't know, frankly. And once in a while, there is a little mishap, but they jump back up there, and they do it again. And it's just practice, practice, practice. It really pays off.
Great job by Amy Meyerson. I'm sure that's going to bring a great score. And like I said, Kip Reed is one of the favorite among the coaches. He's a great
and the kids.
Yeah, I know they really love him. He's a good guy. And 9.65. Wow. So that's she did better than the best job she did last night. So so it's great for her. 9.65 on the balance beam. And now over to floor exercise. 18-year-old Beth Weimer from Sunrise Gymnastics. And we saw her a little earlier on the balance beam. She had some problem on the mount. She got back up and finished nicely, so we know she can pull through whether it's going well or not. So we'll take a look at Beth Weimer, excuse me.
She put 2 really extremely difficult skills into one pass. She'll get some bonus 10 back for doing that. Preparing for a second tumbling pass. Real nice double pike. She has such control, doesn't she? She knows right where she is all the time. Real seasoned competitor. Shows really nice, mature dance, moves well with the music. You enjoy watching it. I'm sure she's in line for a nice scholarship at a college. She'd be a real gift to any college competitive gymnastic team. Okay, this is where they get a little bit of, take a few breaths for the big last tumbling. Oh, that's nice.
First time we've seen that move. It's tonight.
Yes, great. It is. Great job.
Beth Weimer. Very, very nice job. Sunrise Gymnastics.
She'd be real happy with that, especially after the performance on beam. She's just moved right along, and a stunning performance. Okay, we're going to go take a look at her tumbling path. And this is her last tumbling path. Now watch how she reverses direction and does a punch front to the stomach. Really difficult, especially at the end of the routine.
And she's set up very nicely for a score.
Okay, here's her first tumbling run. Now these were the two really difficult elements. The first one's a 1.5 twist front right here, and then she tumbles right out of it into what we call a half Arabian front to the stomach again. Real nice. That's 2D elements, D being the most difficult element you do.
And a 9.75. Her team did very well there. A 9.35, a 9.15, a 9.5, and finally Beth ices it away with a 9.75. A great job, and we'll be back with more action in a few moments. Hold on, we got a lot more to go. Team championships, and we open this part of our show up with Caroline Hecht. Remember, she's that 13-year-old we saw a little earlier on floor. Did a great job there. She's ready now to perform for the rebounders.
She's going to be doing a handspring front tuck as well. And this year is the first year she popped into the national elite scene in the junior division and placed, I believe, 25th or 6th right in there. Here we go. Oh, boy, all the girls have been having a little bit of trouble tonight with that handspring front, just coming out a little early.
She has one more chance here, so that shouldn't bother her too much. A few corrections here from...
Okay, we'll have a nice chance to see this once again. Maybe we can figure out what's wrong. Handspring, she blocked. She tucked a little early again, so she lost some of her height. And then the feet just came out a hair early. She just holds on to it a little bit longer. She'll nail it.
The pressure is really on now. Caroline Hecht, here we go. Had a great start on floor. Nice.
Right. And the team needs a score. Remember, they're in 3rd place coming into the second event. Oh, darn, that's unfortunate.
You're going to have to count a handspring, not front, but handspring 3/4, I guess, to a seat drop. But anyway, she's going to be a good one. It's nice to see that she came back. And
okay, here we go again on the replay. And I just believe she's just rushing the whole trick just a little bit. She's getting a little anxious, and as she comes off, she just tucks a little early. So she just didn't have enough height to get the front somersault around. Okay, they're putting up her score now. And uh-oh. It's a little error in the flasher. These kids are great, by the way, the little girl with the pink hat. They're all volunteering. They're local gymnasts, and this is such an opportunity for them just to come and be part of a national competition.
There she's
Once in a while, a little confusion, but
you can't blame them for that.
No, not at all. It's just great. It's a wonderful experience for them.
Here is the score, 8.90. So that is not going to help the rebounders to hold that 3rd place slot very long. But we now move over to uneven bars for Awesome Dawson. We've seen her 9-9 in her first round, so first event. Here she comes to the uneven bars.
Beautiful. Jaeger salto, no problem. She just really handles those bars incredibly well. Beautiful turn. Right into a double pike. What a routine. Unbelievable. She's really